The word Islam comes from the Arabic root salam, meaning peace. Islam is the religion of peace. And if people knew that, they wouldn't talk about it or think of it the way that they do. There's many misconceptions that I even thought of when I was Christian and I was thinking about, well, what exactly is a Muslim and is it just Arabs? Like, I thought terrorists were Muslims. They confused me a lot because of propaganda and bad marketing and terrible movies and 9/11 kind of, they put so much thoughts into my head where I thought truthfully Muslims were just terrorists. I didn't understand that a Muslim can't be a terrorist because it's not against their belief. If you are a terrorist and you're saying that you're Muslim, you're not Muslim because that's not in the Quran. The Quran doesn't say go be a terrorist, or they even say that, oh, the Quran says that if you sacrifice yourself, or it never says that ever. It never does. So it's just being misunderstood. And I don't think anyone wants to understand the religion of peace because they don't have it themselves and they're still trying to find it in this dunya versus looking for it in the akhirah, meaning the hereafter, the afterlife. Like, after seeing how I treat people and how I give people more excuses now, one thing in Islam we talk about giving people like 50 excuses before you blame them for something. Like, if I have a text message that I send to someone and they haven't answered, I would get worried that they're not okay versus being like, oh, they're weird, they didn't text me back, or this and that, like the average person would think. Like, I don't think in the same manner just because of Islam. I don't do as many vices and haram things anymore, meaning sins, because of Islam. The things that I crave, I now have Islam holding me strong and steadfast. I just finished Asr prayer. Usually, I was about to rest. I was about to go to sleep. Well, my Asr prayer actually woke me up. I was like, oh, should I rest first or should I do Asr? Well, you're actually supposed to rest after Asr, so I might as well pray first and then go do Asr. Well, this led to a call with my client. That led to, well, I'm up already, I might as well film a YouTube video. This led to, well, I might as well film another one for this channel too, since I'm here. And this is going to lead to one more video. So all from just praying, I just moved the needle with my business. And this is why you're supposed to surround your life around your prayers instead of surrounding your prayers around your life. And even understanding that you're supposed to pray multiple times in a day. It's not just you're in the car and you pray and then that's it. That's one form. But actually worshiping your creator and being in the pure state and actually being as close as you can to Allah, that's why I love Islam. Because you only learn that in Islam. Also, how diverse. Like, Islam is one of the only religions you can have an Asian and a black guy, a white guy, a purple guy, and an Indian guy, all in the same circle, going to a church that used to be a church that now converted to. They go to a church that used to be a church, and then it now converted into a mosque. Just that's Islam. Also, pulling up in different cars. The guy pulls up in the Maybach. The rich Arab smells good. He walks in. The guy pulling up in the beat down Lexus, and his freaking car is shaking on the way there and it's squeaking. The guy who didn't even have a car, he just walked. The guy who had a bike who rolled past him. We're all going to the same place. We're about to do the same exact prayer. We're all about to speak the exact same language. Only in Islam. Another thing I feel like people don't understand is the pillars of Islam. Of course they wouldn't, but faith, prayer, fasting, charity, pilgrimage, all these things that you would want to do are in Islam. And they're actually not choices, they're obligations, things that you're supposed to do regardless. You don't get extra points for doing what you're supposed to do, And this is why we have sunnah stuff, because there is extra things that we can do. But then you have the base, the bare minimum. When I think about how long it takes prayers, even if I did no prayer the whole day, but I just remember, okay, I got to get my 5 prayers in, it takes like 20 minutes max. It's like a minute per rakat, max. Which, if you break it down, you have the morning prayer, that's 2. Then you have the afternoon, that's 4. Then you have another 4. Then you have a 3. That's 2, 6, 10, 13. Then you have another one, that's 17. About 17 rakats. 4, 8, 12. 4, 8, 12, 15, 17. Yeah, 17 rakats. 17 minutes a day. Well, it only takes 18 minutes a day for a year to master a skill. If you just do this consistently for a year, you've mastered it. And of course, you probably have mastered Arabic too. Like, the amount of Arabic that I can speak now, like, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Those of you who know what I just said, that was a Fatiha. I learned that all through Islam. So I'm now learning another language because I have to pray in it versus just the regular lazy, you're already, oh God, just get me out of this situation. I need you right now only because I'm in pain. So help me get out of this. And then like only calling on Allah when you need something from Him. I just don't want to be that person. Sometimes I pray and I say, Allah, I don't need anything from you. Just keep me here. Keep me healthy. Keep this. Thank you for allowing me to pray today. Like, and I stop myself from thinking these bad thoughts because of Islam. I understand that sometimes when I'm getting frustrated, it could be shaitan and not me. If people knew how much protection you get from being in Islam, or even understanding the principles of Islam, understanding shaitan, understanding how it works against you, understanding your good deeds and bad deeds, these are life lessons that you get to become a better version of yourself. And I believe if people knew more about it and it wasn't so negatively pushed on movies and in propaganda, then of course it would be a better look on Islam. But me personally, I love Islam. I don't think there's any better religion. I don't think there's any other true religion. I actually get paranoid when I speak about this because none of my family is Muslim. They all think I'm crazy. They all think I'm crazy. My dad mentioned it today. He said, your business is going good, but what does it profit a man to gain the world but lose his soul? Okay, Dad. Have a great day. Love you too. He doesn't mean any harm because in his head, he is fully correct. So that's why I don't get upset, because he thinks that he's doing me a favor by telling me like to come to Christianity and to hint it to me. And as he should, that's his job as a dad to try to guide me to where he thinks is correct. But it's also my job as a son to say, hey, you've been working for 40 years. You showed me that hard work doesn't make you rich. So I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm not going to do what you did, regardless of what you think. Hey, Christianity, I've seen a couple things. I don't believe Jesus is necessarily God, or I believe that he's the son of God. So I'm going to go with Islam, where it talks about having messengers that send one message from one creator, and the message was never changed. I like that better, and it just fits me. And I believe Islam is not for everyone the same way Christianity is not for everyone the same way Buddhism is not for everyone. I see people wearing Buddha chains all the time, and they probably don't even know their religion. They're just doing it for style. Well, it's still symbolism, and it's haram. That's the same as worshiping a statue back in the day, and that people used to get killed for stuff like that. And it's just kind of like it's been belittled so it can be okay. And I personally just don't like belittling faith, considering it's the only thing that's going to take us after this life. And Islam helped me understand what happens after this life. And I used to think, truthfully, that we just become nothingness. And I kind of had a feeling that there was a heaven and hell, because people always say, oh, they're watching over me, they're this. But I just had this fear, like, what happens if I just become nothing? Like, what happens if I just die and I just don't exist anymore? Like, I don't want to just become a black space. Like, I used to want to live forever. Now you will, just through Islam, and you go to Jannah instead of Jahannam, and you don't be tortured. You actually have blessings, and there's a lot of things that I can talk about. I'll do that in another video, speaking about Jannah and Jahannam. That'll be the next video. But this is my honest truth about Islam, and this is how I feel about it. And I feel like a lot of people just misunderstand it. What's your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. But so far, this is what I think. Always embrace peace, embrace deen. Assalamu alaikum.